All right, so we've been living here since May, so it's probably about time for me to tie up the wires and clean up this editing station. I call it my editing station, but honestly, really, it's Michelle's. Where we have I forget which gen. I think this is like I think probably a 2015 generation iMac with a iCore 7, and I think I have 32 gigs of RAM, and then a Apple Thunderbolt display, and this is where I do my editing for photos on Lightroom. So for Christmas, I've been shopping for these speakers for a very long time. Let's just close Lightroom. Back it up since something funky was going on. So these speakers are Audio Engine A5 Plus, which I just got for Christmas. I've been shopping them for a very, very long time. They're powered speakers, so basically I'm running a headphone jack, the headphone out or audio out from the iMac to one speaker, and this other speaker connects to the second. And so we have iMac Thunderbolt display. I've got a Hoodman, a USB 3.0 reader for Michelle. She'll still use compact flash cards for photos. Our Canon 5D Mark II only takes compact flash, but for pretty much everything now I'll use a SDXC card. So I'll use those, and I use them with an adapter, and because I like the little mini cards that go into the GoPros. And so A5 Plus, which are active speakers connected to the headphone jack, and then the Thunderbolt display, which of course is connected with Thunderbolt, and then in the back here, I've got a APC battery backup. It's the Pro 1000 battery backup here, which is also our surge protection. And then a Promise Pegasus. This is the first gen Promise, the Pegasus R6. And so it's a single 6 individual 1 terabyte drives. I think I have it in formatted RAID 0, so there's some redundancy. So I have 5 terabytes of storage there. And one thing I'm going to probably transition to, I don't have a backup of any of my videos on YouTube. And so, God forbid something happens on YouTube, I'll lose everything. So basically what I'll do is I edit the video and delete it. So I have about 2 terabytes of storage available, but I haven't stored video. All my photos we keep. And then I have that all backed up with, was it Control 24 crash plan, or Code 24 crash plan. So again, the way I have it set up is a 256 gig solid state drive, which runs the operating system and runs all the software. Then the Thunderbolt connection to the Pegasus, which stores all of our stuff, photos, everything. And then both the Promise and the hard drive are backed up to Code 24, the crash plan account. It cost me $10 a month to back that up in the cloud. I also have a backup here on my Apple time capsule, my 3 terabyte time capsule, which backs up my laptop or my MacBook Pro, and backs up the operating system. So if I needed to, if the operating system crashed, I could easily load it right from the time capsule. So and I keep things really, really clean, organized. I'm always battling Michelle here. The desktop always has a bunch of crap, and so really I have nothing stored on the hard drive for the iMac, with the exception of the applications, all the software I run on this. For editing, I'm still using iMovie, and I've been playing with Premiere a little bit. I really don't want to learn the Premiere software. I just don't want to. I know there's some huge advantages to After Effects and Dreamweaver and being able to integrate all of that stuff. If I need any production like that, I'll probably just pay someone or ask someone to help me with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition to Final Cut Pro. Again, to this point, I really haven't had any issues getting iMovie to do anything I needed it to do. And so, I mean, I know my production value could get much better, but I've erred on the side of just producing it rather than spending all of my life, focusing on the software. So what I want to do today is just wire this thing up, zip tie it up so it looks a little cleaner. I keep telling myself this isn't going to be the way our office looks. This is a room next to our family room, or not our family room, our master, in between our family room and our master. And this was our dining room table at the other house, which just perfectly fit in this cutout. But for the foreseeable future, this is going to be set up this way. We're going to have the house painted, and all this trim is going to go away. The ceilings are going to get painted at some point, but I don't think I'm going to do it myself. I have some, believe it or not, some skills at painting, but I just don't want to do it. I think my time would be better spent doing something else. Working on making videos and finding, helping new people with their finances. I'd be much better off doing that. And so let's pull this thing apart. I'm going to shut down the iMac, and then I'll shut down the Pegasus, and I'm going to disconnect everything and rewire it. So here's what the room looks like. We've got our dining room bench in here. I want to say this room is like 12 by 14 or something like that with this, with the cutout here. And then this window, most of the time I'll have it closed, but it's kind of, depending on where the sun is, it's kind of a cool spot to put a desk. Pretty decent view out to the back area of the property. And then there's another window here that looks out onto the front porch, the front door area, just to give you a reference point. And then there's the exterior view. All right, so first thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move. So here's the speaker. This is the powered speaker, which then feeds the secondary speaker. So this is where the amplifier and everything is. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the battery backup and the Pegasus over to this side because I always have the. Let's see. What I could do, probably even easier, if I just move the Mac over to this side. Where's the power plug? Power plug's right in the middle, so that doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're just so used to having the Mac on the left side. I'm gonna do a little dusting here too. All right, so let me just disconnect. I always find that anytime I'm wiring anything, it's easier to just completely disconnect it all. I'm going to get rid of this crappy speaker wire as well. It's just the speaker wire that came with the speakers, and I hooked them up the other day after Christmas. And then the speakers are going to swap. So I'm going to bring this one here, and this one over here. And these audio engines are a dual, I think it's a dual 5 1/4, yeah, or single 5 1/4 in each, and then single 1-inch soft dome tweeter. I just prefer soft dome. I prefer the sound of soft dome. I'm gonna go get a towel and dust all this stuff while I'm doing it. Never use Windex on anything that matters, like the screen. Anything that's scratchable. But I just don't want to walk out to the pole barn to get my Griot's window cleaner. I'll go get it in a minute. Yeah, and I always find it so much easier to just disconnect everything and then reconnect it. here's the back. The Promise, the Pegasus, 2 Thunderbolt connections, which are 2-way. There's a serial port, which of course we'll never use. A fan on the back, so real simple things. Solid with all the weight of the hard drives in there. I want to say I bought that in 2014 as well. Backup outlets, and then surge protection only, all of which are surge protected. So the de-yellowing process of this house is our next major endeavor. I think even before the garage is built. We'll see. I'm doing my best to just enjoy the ride instead of worrying about every second of every day. So, well, the way that this is set up here, I don't think we're going to be able to hide all the wires, but I can at least clean this up a bit. I don't have any white zip ties, or else I'd probably use them. The white cables. I'll be able to see that. So we'll have one power cord coming all the way around for the Thunderbolt display. And then we have the Thunderbolt connection. So the more time that goes on, the less wires are needed to do stuff, but we still have to plug it in. And so this is going to come all the way around and plug into the back of the UPS. Same with this, the iMac cable. So these two will join in the back here somewhere. Thunderbolt cable is also going to come around back. So that'll be tied up. Looks like I got enough slack that I can bring that together. All right, so I got a piece that should be sufficient. Just trim these back. This is 12 gauge, 12.2. So you can see audio in. So 1/8 inch out comes to 1/8 inch in, and power, and then speaker wires. Also has subwoofer output and RCA inputs. And because of this room and where I'm set up and how it carries through the house, I don't think I'm going to do a sub. I don't think I need one. Well, we'll see if I have to eat those words, but we got audio all over the frickin' place in this house, so I think I can do without a sub here. Next thing I'm going to get is a mic. So I'm going to get a mic set up for doing voiceover, and if I'm ever doing remote podcasts or anything like that. So I tie these up every 4 inches or so. And usually I'll end up over wire tying it and then or zip tying it, and then I'll just have to come back around and cut a few off and put a few extras in place. As you figure out where things need to go. Alright, so this is going to come around the back of this stuff. So the first thing I'm doing here is positioning these, positioning everything where I want it. I can get the wires where I need them to go. Okay. Run to work. Relatively centered. You know, I've always always wanted wires to look clean. You know, as clean as I can get them anyway. It looks so much different than just having a mess of wires. I know some of you who are watching this are saying I'm freaking stupid for wasting this time, but I think it's take me a half an hour to do this. And I only have to do it once. You know, occasionally you'll add something new to your setup, but I'm willing to invest the time and effort. Let's wire up that connection going that way. Back to the Thunderbolt display. Again, I understand this isn't going to look perfect, but it looks better than having messes of wires all over the place. Okay, so what am I going to want to do with this? So I got to come into the back of the speaker here. Obviously I'm going to cut this, shorten it. I want a little bit of slack, a little bit of room to work with here. Here's what our back section looks like. It's a little better than before. So I'm going to go over to this section over here and clean that up. So maybe I'll just leave this here and zoom in a little bit. So all the excess I have is going to terminate behind here, like the excess Thunderbolt cable. Notice I've got a lot of extra length here. And then I've got to deal with this, a Thunderbolt power cord. So it's coming around. So I have to coil these two up together. So 1, 2, 3. We'll tuck that all back in.
What happened? Did the thing break?
No, I'm just cleaning up the wires. You know how I like it clean, right? Mm-hmm. Clean and organized. Right, Rye? Mm-hmm. That's the way we do it. I think we got it, people. We'll push this back in and see what it looks like. See if most of this stuff is hidden. Pull this out this way just a little bit. All right, so let's wrap this up. I don't know that I don't really see this as obsessed wiring. I just see this as wiring. I feel like I've come a long way in this world because the old me, like I would have been wire tying this like on moving day. And I let it go for 6 months. I kept telling myself I was going to get some speakers and I would finish it then. And so now we're 6 months in and I finally got this job done. By the way, I'm using a rag company microfiber waffle weave with Griot's glass cleaner. I've lots of different glass cleaners, but this is the best stuff, I think. I like it the most. And so I'll normally use 2 towels, using one is the cleaning or the wiping towel. And the other one is the dry and follow. I don't think you need anything special to clean the screens. The key is you don't want to use anything with an abrasive in it. All right. All right, so there's the wired up, completed setup. Let me get the camera here so you can see what's going on. And so everything in my house, everything in my life is tied up and organized like so. So again, we can still see the wires behind here. You really don't have a choice. I mean, I guess we could have some sort of conduit underneath, but the wires eventually need to get to the display. And so now we have a pretty sweet little 2-channel setup with our iMac and Thunderbolt display. Anyway, thanks for watching. Nice Saturday morning project. Stay tuned for more crazy. What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor.